because you fucked up. You blew it. You're really ashamed. You screwed up big time. And in all truthfulness, when it comes to the realities of life, in all truthfulness, often you don't deserve a second chance. You fucked up way too bad. You don't deserve a second chance.
I've built many startups. Most of them have failed. And so Bitcoin is exactly the place that I like to be.
We're going to end it right there. Have you ever sat down and considered how fortunate you are to be here? Like how fortunate you are to be alive? I've done this many times. I could tell you to your face 1,000 different reasons why I literally shouldn't be alive here today. Motorcycle accidents, car accidents, track accidents, shenanigans when I was a young child, young man. Like literally, I shouldn't be here. I've been given second chances. Shit, hell, I've been given second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10 chances. I'm all about second chances. I'm all about these types of things. Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever considered how fortunate you are to be here? Because I tell you, I should be dead. I shouldn't be here alive today. And the reason why I'm talking about this topic to you guys today is because today I took my son out of school. I pulled him out of school. He didn't need to be there today. And the reason is because we have had planned a potential new endeavor for him. You see, ever since my son was a young child, a young buck, a 2-year-old child, he was driving around in cars. He loved speed. He has a genetic disease just like his appa. He has a genetic disorder that naturally and innately moves him towards automobiles, machinery, things that go vroom and things that go fast. You see, I pulled him out of school today because I promised him that I would go with him to a local track, a karting track, and I would introduce him to multiple coaches there so that we could begin getting him on the go-kart circuit, giving him seat time, laps, seat time, to see whether he really wants to go fast. But not only fast, does he want to go fast in a competitive scene? Does he want to go fast in a competitive environment? Does he want to go fast and have completely new experiences, feelings, competitive feelings, anxiety feelings, nervous feelings, fear, all these things that come into you when you are racing on a track? You see, he's not going to miss whatever they taught today in school. Trust me, he ain't miss it. He spent the day with me talking with men about how to get him into the game of go-karting. In many ways, for me, it's kind of like a second chance. You see, I'm too old to go into competitive racing. Yeah, I have my SCCA racing license, and I can do Porsche class, I can do Radical Cup, and I can do your amateur racing. But seeing my son, who has been into a genetic disease just like his old man, look at these cars, pick out his first go-kart, the glimmer in his eyes, the absolute like I was telling my wife, like when we were in one of these bays where one of the local teams was trying out their Formula 4 car and their Formula 3 car with his 14-year-old son, and like usually my son's pretty close to me in terms of when we're walking around and doing these types of things together, but I tell you, man, he broke loose. Once we were in that bay and there were all this Formula 4 car, Formula 3 car, a couple other Formula 4 cars, I mean, he just, forget Appa, forget Daddy, he just wanted to look at the cars. He just wanted to sit in the cars. And for me, it was great. It was an awesome experience of like this resurrection, this second chance. Because I'm too old, I can't do this. I can't do this. And frankly, I'm not that interested. I like racing my Radical race car, and I like doing that from a recreational standpoint. But from a competitive standpoint, guys, I am way past my prime. And so that got me thinking about this idea of second chances. You see, second chances are different from failing. Second chances are different from failing. Second chances come with a deeper loss of failure. And often it's from a human perspective. One way to know the difference between getting a second chance getting a second chance versus just failing at something is often you know the difference between a second chance and a fail by how much was on the line, and number two, the opportunity to achieve it again. Second chances are easy to look at when it comes to sports, right? Every year there's a championship game. Hey, you got to the finals last year, you messed up. Here's your second chance. The next season, you can win it this time, right? Competitions, the Olympics. The Olympics every 4 years. Hey, you made it to the Olympics last 4 years, but you couldn't get onto the podium. This is your second chance. This is your second chance, right? Competitions or trials of any kind. Lots of people do all sorts of time trials, all sorts of different types of trials that allow them to try and then fail. And then when the time's up or the next time threshold passes, they can have a second chance at doing it. You know, when it comes to failing, for me, I never think too much about the fail. I never think too much about the fail in terms of like, I deserved to win this, right? Well, I failed this. I messed up. I deserve to win. I never feel that way. No. I think rarely do people ever, when they failed at something, sit back unless they're a sore loser and be like, oh, I deserve to win that, right? That doesn't often happen. But one way that you can differentiate between a failing and a second chance is when you failed and you've screwed up so bad, the feeling that often comes is a feeling that you don't deserve a second chance. Because you fucked up. You blew it. You're really ashamed. You screwed up big time. And in all truthfulness, when it comes to the realities of life, in all truthfulness, often you don't deserve a second chance. You fucked up way too bad. You don't deserve a second chance. So what really is the difference? And this is something that I ruminated on the drive back from this go-karting experience with my son. So what really is the difference between failing something and having a second chance? Well, I'll give you the real simple TLDR version. It's a moral or ethical failing. You see, when you fail at work, you fail at a startup, you fail at an entrepreneurial endeavor, when you fail at trying something new, there's no moral or ethical feelings there. It's just you're not as good as you thought, or you clearly aren't as good as you should be, or you're not as effective as you should have been, or you didn't see this because of your naivete or your lack of experience. You failed. But there is generally no moral or ethical failing in that, right? You see, second chances, when we're talking about second chances, this is something bigger than failing. Second chances are a moral and ethical failing. Let me give you a couple examples. Failing your first marriage. Some people would go really far. That's not only a little personal fail. It's more than a personal fail. It's a moral, ethical, human perspective failing. Now you're going to go try a second marriage. Good luck. How about you failed at getting sober? Right? That feels like a moral, ethical failing. Like you failed your friends. You promised something. You promised that you would do this. You promised to do it. You promised not to do it. There is guilt on the other side of that second chance failing. Right? You feel beat up. You feel used. You're embarrassed and you're ashamed. These are the outcome feelings. These are the out causes of this type of moral or ethical failing. And often the only recourse is to wallow in your own shame and guilt while receiving verbal beatings by the righteous who told you that you've screwed up, right? It's the whole idea of the scarlet letter, the walk of shame, right? Shame, 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 right? For the religious, people would call this sin, right? You fucked up You sinned. You get the scarlet letter. You have to take the walk of shame. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. When you fail, when you have a moral and ethical failing, you will feel guilt. When you have sinned, you will feel guilt. You will feel embarrassed. You'll feel ashamed. And yes, people are going to rub it in your face. Such is the nature of humanity. Such is the nature of humanity, is that when you have failed, immoral and ethical, and you don't deserve a second chance, you literally don't deserve a second chance, and you know it. You know it. People rub it in their face. People rub it in your face. Because people have condescending attitudes over that which they condemn. It's a nature of pride. It's a twisted pride. We talked about this in my other podcast. Go back. Go search for it. Pride, right? Pride forgets. Humility remembers. Go check out that podcast, right? But it's the nature of twisted pride when people are condescending on you, because they publicly will criticize your sin to justify their own. How many times have we seen this in the political sphere? I don't need to go much farther than that. Right? Within the political sphere, it's quite easy. They love to criticize others for the exact same sin that they're committing in secret. They're private sins. But don't worry about them. Don't worry about the people that are going to rub it in your face that you're of your failure, moral, ethical failing, whatever it was. A marriage, not getting sober, a promise that you couldn't keep, these types of things. Don't worry about them. All of their sins, all of their failings will come into light in due time. And yes, when you get that scarlet letter, when you fail, right? Yes, so one of the worst parts about some of these moral and ethical failings, right? These things where we need second chances, we need a redemption, we need a redeemer, we need someone to save us and give us that second chance, right? Yeah, sometimes the consequences of these decisions, these poor moral and ethical decisions, will last a fucking lifetime. They'll last a lifetime. You know, I'm not going to put this in a category of moral and ethical and push this on any of you guys out there. But I will tell you a scene that hurts my heart. A scene that hurts my heart, and you can judge me however you want. But you know a scene that hurts my heart? A pregnant teenager. A pregnant teenager. That hurts my heart. Now, do I have any context to the realities and to the nuances and to the truth of that matter of that 15, 16-year-old girl who's pregnant? I have no idea. I have no idea. I have no idea. But I will tell you, when I see a 15, 16-year-old girl who's pregnant, you know what? That decision, regardless of how you want to slice the moral and ethical, I'm not there. You can judge however you want. But let's be intellectually honest. That 15, 16-year-old girl who's pregnant, that decision is going to last a lifetime. That decision, poor decision maybe, to be pregnant at 15, is going to scar them, is going to last a lifetime. Let's be fucking real. You guys, same with me, all of us have made such shitty decisions in the past that some of us are literally still paying for 20 years later, 30 years later. If you're going to dwell on it, go back to my podcast on taking personal responsibility, because that's the answer to these issues, the consequences of moral failings, of ethical failings, of huge poor decisions that we've made in the past. The answer is personal responsibility. You fucked up at 15 years old, bro. Deal with it now. Be a man. Buck up. Start adulting. Fix it. Don't take a victim attitude. Take a can-do, I'm going to take control, I'm going to get this done attitude. That's what personal responsibility is all about. And yes, you're going to mess up. We all mess up. I began this entire thought experiment in this podcast saying that I love second chances. That's what I love. Second chances are always possible. And second chances don't always need a redeemer. They don't always need redemption. For some of you who don't need that, you need to give yourself some healing. And let me tell you how it works. Guys, whenever I think, it's very simple. Whenever I think of the epic fails that I've had in life, the places where I can't go back in history, I can't make it right, I screwed it up, I can't rewind the tape, I can't press back, I can't double click back 10, 15, 20 years ago. It's not possible. It's not going to happen. When it comes to these type of lost second chances, I'm going to give you the answer. Transparency leads to healing. Give yourself permission to heal from those failings, from those issues. Don't carry them. If you're still dealing with the issues of the past or the hurt, let me be specific, the hurt of the past, please go back to one of my previous podcasts about healing or reprogramming the pain of the past. Go look it up, please. Reprogramming pain of the past. Don't let your past dictate your future. Yeah, you got pregnant at 15 years old, 30 years ago. Fucked you up. Fucked up your future. You wanted to be X, but you can't do it. You couldn't do it because you made some shitty decisions. Right? You wanted to go to college, but you got caught up with your friends at 17 doing drugs, and you went to jail, and you couldn't go to college. You made a shitty decision, right? You wish you had a second chance. Well, here's the answer. Transparency leads to healing. I wrote this down. Give yourself permission to heal. Well, how do you do that best? I'm going to give you the answer. It's with community. It's with community. Find other people who are willing to help you heal, people that you're able to be real with. Tell them your story. Tell them why you want a second chance, why you want to start over. Trust me, they're in the same place. I promise you. Find a community of people that will accept you and will heal with you, will help you. And you might say, well, Peter, where is easy? Easy. There's so many different communities out there. So many different communities out there, and I don't offer up websites or anything like this usually, but I'll tell you a great site to go if you want to join a great community. There's tons of them out there. Go to yen.io, yen.io. Sign up. It's a community platform. It's built for communities who love all things all over the world. There's communities around race cars, there's communities around crypto, there's communities around schooling, education, politics, working out, trading, making money, hustling, search engine optimization, marketing. There's all these communities on yen.io, and I know that there's communities for healing on there as well. You see, I introduced this topic in saying, guys, I'm all about second chances, and I am. I'm all about second chances, third chances, fourth chances, fifth chances in life. Yes, we're human. We make really shitty decisions sometimes. But please, don't ever let your past dictate your future. Find community. Find people that where you can give yourself a permission to heal and communicate through that. Go through the motions. But guys, life is not about holding on to the pains of the past. Life is about moving forward, past and through the pain with others who have gone before you. Guys, I'm all about second chances. The world, some of the greatest stories in the world are second chance comebacks. But I'm telling you, every single person that I know needs a second chance. So here's the question for you today. Where do you need to give yourself permission to heal? Where do you need to give yourself a second chance? This is Peter, the Bitcoin Lambo. If you enjoyed this episode, I really, really would hope that you can send this to someone who's dealing with issues of a second chance or guilt or feelings of moral and ethical failing, send it to them, guys. Subscribe, smash the like button, and say something nice. Peace out.